Emma Stone is, without a doubt, one of today's preeminent actresses. She's already been one of the world's highest paid actresses and won a Best Actress Oscar for La La Land. But what's most interesting is that over a nearly 20-year acting career, she's never fallen off. Most actors and actresses will go through phases of more or less activity, or perhaps endure a spate of poorly received or commercially unsuccessful roles. But Stone is an outlier in that regard so far. That's not to say that she doesn't have movies that have been critical or commercial flops. She certainly has. But not only are they few and far between, but she's often not in a leading role in those kinds of movies. Movies that she tends to star in, however, are seemingly guaranteed to do well critically, commercially, or oftentimes both. Part of this is because she, like Christian Bale or Florence Pugh, seems to avoid doing big-budget films in favor of smaller, more intimate pieces. Her Spiderman movies, the first Croods movie, and Cruella are the most expensive movies she's done, coming in at a 9-figure budget. But most of her movies have been in the $5 to $65 million range, often coming in between $15 and $40 million, or solid mid-budget territory. Her foray into the industry began, like it does for so many people, with TV. In 2004, she appeared as Lori Partridge in the pilot for VH1's The New Partridge Family, but the show was never picked up. In the first few years, she had appearances on shows like Medium, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Malcolm in the Middle, and more. But by 2007, she moved into doing movies. She arrived on the scene with 2007 Superbad, starring Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, where she played Jules, Hill's love interest. The movie was a wild commercial and critical success, with reviewers praising the chemistry between Hill and Cera, as well as virtually the entire supporting cast. In 2008, she was in The Rocker, a critical and commercial flop, as well as The House Bunny, which had mixed critical reviews but 3x'd its budget. This is one of the reasons Stone has never fallen off despite being in the industry so long. Often doing 2 or 3 roles a year, she's able to offset a poorly performing movie with one that, at least, has a redeeming quality. She had 3 movies in 2009, but the most important, I think, was Zombieland, where she co-starred with Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, and Abigail Breslin. Just a year after Call of Duty World at War introduced a zombies mode, and a year before 2010's The Walking Dead, the film capitalized on a resurgence in the popularity of zombies and, as a well-made film, was a deserved critical and commercial success. If Zombieland helped Emma Stone get more recognition, 2010's Easy A helped her break through to mainstream success. The film almost 10x'd its budget, was a critical success, and earned Stone award and critical recognition for playing a girl that gets a reputation for being promiscuous despite still being a virgin. In 2011, she starred opposite Ryan Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love, while The Help saw her play a writer who's in the process of writing a book that helps black maids share their plight in 1960s Jackson, Mississippi. Both were critical and commercial successes. 2012 saw her in her most significant role up until that point, as Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man, followed by its 2014 sequel, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The movies performed well commercially and alright critically, but viewed in the context of the Tobey Maguire trilogy before it and the Tom Holland trilogy after it, the reception was comparatively muted. She reunited with Ryan Gosling for 2013's Gangster Squad, which, while I thought it was entertaining, wasn't particularly well received. She provided a voice role in The Croods the same year, which was a surprising critical and commercial success. 2014 saw her act alongside Michael Keaton in his comeback role in Alejandro G. Inarritu's Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. It won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Cinematography at the Oscars, and earned Stone a nomination for Best Supporting Actress. She had 2 releases in 2015, Aloha and Irrational Man, neither of which did particularly well, but in 2016 she reunited with Ryan Gosling for a 3rd time so far to star in Damien Chazelle's romantic musical La La Land, hailed as a modern classic. The film was a massive critical and commercial success, thought to be one of the best films of the century so far. It earned Stone a Best Actress in a Leading Role award at the Academy Awards, and won Chazelle, just 32 at the time, an Oscar for Best Director. 2017's Battle of the Sexes saw her reunite with Crazy Stupid Love co-star Steve Carell, and though the movie did poorly at the box office, it was a critical success. In 2018, she starred in The Favorite, her first collaboration with Yorgos Lanthimos. The film was a critical and commercial success, grossing more than 6 times its budget. Like La La Land, it's considered one of the greatest films of the century, and Lanthimos is considered one of the best directors working today. In 2019, she had Zombieland 2, which was well received critically and commercially, as was 2020's The Croods: A New Age. In 2021, Disney got the chance to work with Stone and cast her as Cruella de Vil in Cruella. The movie did well with critics, though it had a lackluster box office, thanks in part to the pandemic and a simultaneous release on Disney+. Cruella is also when she started getting more involved on the production side, first as an executive producer, and then as just a producer on When You Finish Saving the World in 2022 and Problemista in 2023. She returned to the screen in 2023 in Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things. The film premiered at the Venice Film Festival, where it won the Golden Lion, the highest prize given at Venice. If early reviews are anything to go by, it's a genuine masterpiece and is one of Emma Stone's best performances yet. Rotten Tomatoes consensus reads, quote, "Wildly imaginative and exhilaratingly over the top, Poor Things is a bizarre, brilliant tour de force for director Yorgos Lanthimos and star Emma Stone," end quote. And tour de force really is the best way to describe Emma Stone. She has remained remarkably consistent and shown a willingness to try a wide range of roles over her 20 years in the industry thus far. She's reuniting with Lanthimos a third time for Anne to be released in 2024. I'm looking forward to what she does beyond that. After all, Emma Stone is surely one of the best actresses working today.